Hello and welcome to the Big Idea Show. Today, my guest is George Kirby from the Hythe Environmental Community Group, and you're here to talk about Hythe Hops today, aren't you?
That's exactly right, Lou.
So can you tell us a little teaser of what Hythe Hops, what the project's all about?
It's bringing a community group together to grow hops and make use of them by working with local brewers.
Brilliant, sounds good. We're going to be hearing more about that.
Excellent.
After these titles. Joining us here on the Big Idea Show. This show is all about giving the spotlight over to great community projects and people making them happen right here in our town. We're here at the Grand, which is our great venue tonight, and I want to say a big thank you in advance to all the people that help make this show possible. Our theme for this month is Food for Thought. So who better to get us started than George from the Hythe Environmental Community Group.
That's the one.
It's a mouthful.
It is. Hythe ECG will do for now.
We'll remember that.
Hythe Environmental Community Group, Hythe ECG.
Perfect. Okay. And you're here specifically to talk about Hythe Hops, which is your new project, right?
It is a project just in kick-off.
Okay, brilliant. But before we jump into that, can you tell me a little bit about the group as a whole? Because I know you do a lot around bringing the community together and using the environmental element to bring people together. Can you tell me a bit more about that, please?
Absolutely. So the Hythe Environmental Community Group is a diverse bunch of activities which we bring people together to do, which either help the community, help educate them in the use of resources in the widest sense. It could be energy, it could be food, or upskill them in terms of growing that food and then using that surplus product.
Okay, so that's the community group as a whole, but
Thank you.
the Hythe Hops is your new project, isn't it?
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit more specifically about that?
It's a very simple concept. It's bringing people together to grow their own hops and to make use of those hops by working with local brewers to make beer.
Okay.
And it's a little cycle of local food production and consumption.
Yeah, and from the stuff I've seen and read about the project, it's not just about the beer though, is it? It's about bringing people together.
That's the word community in our title really reflects that. We want to bring people together in Hythe and around in that community to do things together which they wouldn't necessarily have known to do or wouldn't necessarily have had the impetus to do. So we're creating the focal point and growing a network which is our community who want to be involved and want to do good things locally for themselves or for the community as a wider whole. Yeah. It's certainly not our idea. So this concept has been around the country for about 7 or 8 years. And last year we contacted a group doing a similar thing in Deal. So credit to them, Deal with it, has been growing hops for now 3 seasons. Okay,
wow. And I guess the whole hops leading to beer, that must be quite a good way of attracting a kind of a varied audience, right?
Yes, the same people that maybe want to litter pick might not be the same people that want to grow hops and make beer from it. There will be crossover, but I'm hoping that the more we do, the broader our reach will be and the more attractive we'll be as a community group.
Absolutely. So how far into the project are you? You said you're fairly early stages?
It's very early stages in the sense that if you look at a hop growing cycle, that doesn't start until March. So in March this year, we will be planting hops, and we'll come back to anything you want to learn about that. And in September, we'll be harvesting those hops. So it's a 6-month roughly cycle, and we haven't got any hops in the ground yet. We've just got a lot of people who have said, yes, please, I want to grow hops, or I want to help out, and we're ready to do business.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I like the fact there's obviously the community element,
but
also this element of you're then working with local brewers, working with businesses, working businesses. How does that work, the coming together of the two parties, and who gets the beer at the end?
Now that's a very pertinent question. We very much hope that the brewers will understand that they are getting something for free. So it's local product, transported 1 mile or 2 miles to them. They will therefore have lower costs marginally, and they will be prepared to make something come back to us. Now, we are in discussions about exactly what shape that takes, so can't tell you exactly how that will look, but I think every conversation we've had says, yeah, we see the point in that. Whilst we will make beer from your hops, you can have something back again.
Yeah.
And that is what we would want to use to have to support our social activities, in part.
Definitely. So there's going to be a big party at the end of it.
Well, I think many.
Many parties.
Many parties. I can think of many different, sailing in the winter, the harvest, the brew,
Okay.
and just when nothing's happening, have a chat.
Yeah, definitely. So a great opportunity.
Absolutely.
The audience love it. They're definitely in on that when we said about the
Good.
drinking of it.
I like that idea. Good. We'll join up later. Thank you very much.
Yeah. It's a great opportunity. The creation of it,
Yep.
but the serving of it as well. That's going to bring people together, really,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. Well, it has to. This is, not everybody will want to grow hops. Not everybody has the space to do that. But they are all part of the team. They are part of our group. They will be helping with the harvest. They will be helping organise things. They may be just talking to the brewers about the arrangements. That is, you need all these inputs to make the team get the best out of what we're doing.
Yeah, definitely. And how much space do people need? Like, most people don't have a big field that they can grow.
No.
Can people grow it in their garden? What sort of, what's the most...
That we are aiming at people that want to use their gardens.
Okay.
That's step one.
Yep.
If the garden is too small to do that, you can grow it in a pot, provided the pot is large enough. Yeah,
Okay.
you know, a little 6 by 4 flower pot won't do it. But a 40-litre pot, no, sorry, that's technical, but I mean, it's a reasonably big pot.
Yeah.
You can put a hop into there, and one hop will be one more input to our brew. So, yes, please.
So if you want to be part of the party,
Yep.
all you need is a big pot,
Yep,
and you can get involved.
you can.
I like
Yep,
the sound of this.
Yep, good.
So we're
So
going to...
will we have you growing as well?
Yes.
Excellent.
We've got a garden. We can
Thank
put
you.
them in there. We're going to take a quick break now, but when we come back, I want to hear more about kind of what's got you involved in this and maybe some of the stories
Yep.
that go along with this group that you're running, and it sounds absolutely great. So we're going to be back after this little break. Welcome back. I'm still here speaking to George Kirby from the Hythe Environmental Community Group.
Thank you.
Yes, got it
Yes.
right. We're talking about Hythe Hops, aren't we? And you've been telling
Yes.
us all about how all we need is a plant pot. We can put a hop in it, and then we can come and join the big party at the end when we all
Absolutely.
make the community beer.
Yep,
Perfect.
spot on.
Okay. I want to hear now, though, a little bit more about the group as a whole. And I'll start with you, though. What's your story in terms of why have you got involved and why are you so passionate about this?
I've got involved in a number of different ways. One of them is simply that I like to keep the town of Hythe tidy, so a litter picking regime is part of what I get involved in. But actually, I have chosen to be more involved with what's called the food subgroup. And the food subgroup is about growing, learning about tending and using the product and produce of food. So in particular, in my personal garden, where we lived for a long time, we had about 20 apple trees. And those apple trees produced a lot of fruit in good years. And frankly, you couldn't eat as much as they produced. So what do you do with it? You filled your freezer with apple puree. You've tried to make apple pies until they come out of your ears. It was clear to me that there are other ways of using apples. And one of the ways that I thought that we could bind the community together was, because other people have the same problem, was to buy a community apple press.
Yeah.
And the apple press, over 5 or 6 years now that we've had it as a community asset, has travelled as far as Folkestone, north of Folkestone. It's gone out to schools. It's been used in Hythe, clearly. It's been used by private individuals in their gardens. So it's a growing asset in terms of the reach of it. And it allows people to make juice from that. Now, the interesting questions that we get from our community effort every year in Hythe is, are you making cider? Now, there is a short jump between apple juice and cider, but so why did I get involved? Because I had a practical problem to solve in that case, and it met my ethic, if you will, of not wasting what's there. What's produced by nature should be used by us in some way rather than simply going to waste.
Definitely, really like that. It's really good kind of values, and your whole project sounds like it's very values based. And you've also got this element of bringing people together. I guess there's lots of issues at the moment about kind of isolation, well-being. Are there any kind of particular examples of new relationships that have kind of formed, friendships, projects, anything like that from the group, or is it still kind of in that early development stage?
Well, from the Hythe Hops, it's building because clearly we haven't actually started to work together. We've got a lot of interested people, but in that group we're bringing together people that were part of Y College hop breeding project, retired. We're bringing together amenity horticulturalists. We're bringing people together who are biologists by trade, who are all interested from various angles in growing these particular plants. And those are then connections that we're making new, which I can see happening now. And some of the team that's doing this is in the audience, and thank you for supporting. But they will not necessarily have known each other beforehand. And those are connections that are made. In other contexts, the apple pressing and our seed swaps and plant swaps have always brought people together who have a common interest but didn't know their neighbour or the person down the road was equally interested in that element of nature. And their connections have been made by the hundreds. But I couldn't sort of name all those names that have been individually brought together.
That's a good way to be, that there's too many to name.
It is. It's lovely. Every time there's that ripple that grows wider.
That's really nice, that there's a social kind of benefit, but also a knowledge sharing and resource sharing. Okay, so for people out there that might want to get involved, be that with Hythe Hops or in general the projects, what are your biggest challenges and who are you looking for at the moment?
I don't think there's a credential that people need to bring. That's the very, very good thing about this community group. It really needs an interest and enthusiasm and a willingness to get involved. The biggest challenge for us, Liu, is apathy. Is people who say, yeah, I'd like to, but never do anything about it. Once they are involved, most people are committed because they think that is a great thing to be part of. The trigger for us is how do we get them to take the first step? And that's why the variety of things that we do gives us the best chance. If we were a one-trick pony, I think we'd probably stop now. But we've got 10 or so different arms that could attract new members.
Definitely. So something for everyone.
Something for everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so if people want to check out Hythe Hops and all the other projects, where can they go online to kind of find more information? Well,
there are two ways easily. One's a website, which is in our name, and one is a Facebook page, which is equally in our name.
Okay, so it's the Hythe Environmental Community Group.com or .co.uk? .com. Brilliant. Okay, George, this is good stuff, and I really hope that lots of people out there want to get involved.
I do too.
All you need is a plant pot.
That's the least you need, and lots of enthusiasm, because we want energy and we want commitment and participation.
Brilliant. George, thank you very much indeed.
Good luck with the rest
of the project, and I'm looking forward to that party at the end.
Excellent. We'll have you there. Great stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you very much to you, our audience out there, for joining us today. I also want to say a big thank you to the number of people who make this show possible. We have the Glass Whiteboard Company, who are long-standing sponsors. We have the Grand Folkestone, who have been our awesome hosts that provide us this wicked set. And we have our contributors. We have Hacks from Prisma Broadcast. We have Warren from Flourish. And we have Aaron from 6-2. And we have our awesome crew. We have Maddie, Harry, Hannah, and Gary. It's a long list. I'm glad that I'm remembering it all. But thank you very much for joining us today. And if you out there would like to get involved in the Big Idea Show in any way, we are looking for guests. So either if you or someone you know could be in this hot seat, then get in touch. And likewise, if you can help support the show in any way, help us get it out, these great projects like George's, out to more people, then get in touch. We are the Big Idea Show on all of the socials. So that's all we've got for this episode. I'll see you in another episode soon. Thank you.